Hey there, in this video we're going to look at a really basic concept inside of any DAW, and that is how to keep your project sorted. And when I say sorted, okay, it's going to sound boring from a creative perspective, but this is basically how to maintain structure and organization in your projects, which is so important. Right now I'm having fun going through these different samples and putting them all together, but I've just dragged them in any order and they're a total mess. So the first thing I need to do to create any sort of structure and organization in my track is to name every track. And you do that by clicking on the name in the track list. Now, if you've got lots of different tracks, you may need to solo them because, this one just says Audio 1. I've just imported that sample from the MediaBay and I've got no idea what it is until I solo it. And then I realize it's a whirly and I can list it as a whirly in the track list. So the idea is to think about the track before you name it, because you might have a lot of different, say, vocal takes or hook lines, and you may have different sections in your song. So it's really a matter of thinking about how you can label that track or that specific sample so that it's going to make sense to you as soon as you look at it. In a minute, I'm going to show you another couple of easy things you can do to help you find tracks quickly, organize them, and of course, even figure out where you are in your project. This project has a few main components or sections to it, I guess, and each section has fairly similar instrumentation. So, drum loops and hooks and lead parts. So what I'm doing here is I'm naming the components like drums as drum house, and it might be guitar house or percussion house. So when I look at it, I can go, yeah, that's right. That's the first drum groove from the house section. That's my first lead from the house section. And the first section in my track, I've kind of put the word jungle into a lot of it. And it's not because it's a jungle sounding track. It's just something that I associate with a particular groove in the track. So it's little things like this that you can do, which are going to give you pointers, especially if you haven't worked on the track for, say, a week or a month or 6 months, and then you open it back up again and you look at it and go, what the hell is all of this? So I guess it's about thinking how you can give yourself very clear pointers for when you open the project and find yourself in that creative state of dementia, as I like to call it. Another really important part of the creative process if you're working with a large track count is to create folders for your tracks. So you can do this by selecting the tracks and holding down Shift, right mouse clicking and selecting Move Selected Tracks to a new folder. Now all of those tracks are moved into a new type of track, which is called a folder track. We can name the track and we can also colorize the track and all of the events inside the track. Now I'm really starting to organize this project by the type of tracks and the different sections of my song. And if there's a stray track somewhere, it's just a matter of picking up on it with a mouse and dragging it down into the folder that you've created. So let's go through that process again. Hold down Shift, select your tracks, right mouse click, move selected tracks to a new folder, give the track a name, and if you want, then you can go and give the track or the folder track and the events inside their own color. Once you've finished with the folder process, you can start to close these folders and you can see what a difference this actually makes in terms of, I guess, the visibility on your screen. So it's a really neat way to be able to close folders in sections of the song that you're not working on and open tracks or open folders with tracks inside for sections that you really need to work on. I'm just having a look through my folders and there's a mistake. This little drum part here shouldn't be here. So I'm dragging it down into a blank area. It's created a new track automatically, which I'm naming, and I'm picking up with my mouse and I'm just going to drag it straight up to the appropriate track, which is this one here. So I can place that in the track and straight away it's adjusted the color of the event to fit in with the color of the folder and the other events in the folder. So you can always make edits and move things in and out of folders on the fly. You can colorize the actual tracks themselves by selecting them, going up to project and then going down and saying colorize selected tracks. And now once you select a color, those tracks that you've selected will also change color down in the Mix Console. So this is a relatively new addition to Cubase. You can see that it's not just colorizing the small section to the left of the tracks and the events in the track. We're actually colorizing the Mix Console and all of the tracks in the track list, which is really handy because if you're working with a large track count, you can basically associate a color with that track and go straight over into the Mix Console and find it, or find it over in your track list on the left-hand side. If there's a track that you haven't used in ages and you don't really need to see it, but you just don't want to delete it just in case, you can right mouse click on it and select Hide Selected Tracks, and that will hide it from view. We can also do things like show and hide tracks in the Mix Console. So I've opened my Mix Console, and if I bring my mouse down to this lower zone here, I can use the G and H key to narrow the width of what I'm looking at. But over on the left-hand side, I can also use the visibility section to define exactly what I see or what I want to work on. So we can untick different tracks or different folder tracks, and notice that these folder tracks also show up over on the left-hand side. And unticking them will also hide all of the tracks that are housed within these folder tracks in the Mix Console. So we can really customize exactly what we want to see in this window, which is really handy if you've got a lot of tracks and they don't all fit in the view of the screen that you're working on. My final tip in terms of, I guess, sorting out your projects and keeping them organized is that you can choose what you see in the Mix Console based on a few variables. So if you click on this button, for instance, you can opt to see all channels that are housed within the Mix Console. Or you could say something like, only give me the channels which have information out on the tracks in my project window. So let's go back to the project window, and you can see that at this point in time, there's only these folders which have information. And as I move further back in my project, there's going to be more tracks. So now if I go back up to this section and do it again, you can see all the tracks that have information at that point out in the project window. Hey, thanks for taking the time to stop by and check out this basic video. There's plenty more on the Cubase YouTube channel, so please go and subscribe to that channel and give this video a like if you learned something, and drop us a comment below and let us know how you organize your tracks in Cubase. I'm going to catch you real soon. Take care.